Good morning, friends. You know, when a man is on drugs, his mind doesn't work quite right. You know, it's just a little skewed. He doesn't have a clear perception. I want to share with you how my mind used to work as I was having second thoughts about drinking. I thought, maybe I need to rethink things. And this is what I did. I thought, you know, my health is like a bank account. So if I'm going to take out something on my bank, if I'm going to drink, I need to put in a deposit. If I'm going to withdraw, I've got to make a deposit. So what I would do, if I drank 10 beers, next day I'd run 4 miles. If I drank 5 beers, I thought, well, 3 would balance my account. This is how far someone can go in justifying their bad habits. So that was the bank account I had. I always kept my bank account balanced. The more I drank, the more I ran and I did my exercise in the morning. And then I got this idea that it's the quality of the booze you're drinking. And I told Darlene, we need to start drinking German beer because I read German beer had fewer additives and preservatives. And so we started drinking St. Pauli Girl and Guinness and all these German beers and Irish beers that just cost a lot of money. And I thought that would be healthier. My first wife, her father would drink George Dickel bourbon. And that's very expensive. You know, and I had friends at high school drinking 99-cent a bottle Ripple. And it seemed to me in my mind that it must be healthier to drink an expensive bourbon rather than this cheap stuff you get at the corner beer joint. And so St. Pauli Girl, expensive German beer, must be better than the cheap stuff. And really what I was thinking was, it's almost like when you travel. A first-class ticket costs more than the economy. It's a better seat, right? You're back there and you can go back and forth in your seat and you get pistachios and almonds and they bring you a lot of good food and everything. But you know, friends, you're still going to the same destination. The first class and the economy seat, you still end up in the same place at the same time. And that's what I was doing. Expensive St. Pauli Girl, my German beer was taking me to the same destination, cirrhosis of the liver, but I couldn't put it together. The spirit of self-justification that reigned in my mind, you know, I would take everything and twist it to justify what I was doing and why it was making me healthy and all of these pretexts and excuses. Now, that's childish thinking. The Bible would say, 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, and I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish thinking. You know, dear friends, I never put it away. I still thought like a child. You know, I'm not saying, in a sense, it was childish in this sense. You have to be intelligent to go to the moon. Anyway, you're going to build a rocket. And in 1969, they landed on the moon. Somebody with some intelligence is building that rocket, making those plans. My dear friends, it takes some intelligence to get to heaven. But the intelligence displayed in going to the moon is very different than the intelligence displayed in going to heaven. You know, the intellect is what you know. The character, the Bible portrays it as what's in your heart. It's what you are. Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So what you want an intelligent heart, right? You want heart religion. And so intellectually, I could fool myself, I could kid myself until these death-dealing habits were actually good for me. But always in my heart, it kind of troubled me. I mean, I was drinking. You know, one of the reasons I was drinking, it was popular, it felt good in a way, but one of the reasons I was drinking, my life was so miserable that when a man is drunk, it blots out reality. It blocks out reality. It blocks out the truth. You know, the wine of Babylon is your perceptions are so blurred you can't perceive the truth. Dear friends, I didn't want to see the truth. My life was so miserable, I thought this is the truth. My home was breaking down. My father was dying. As he was dying, he didn't have a cigarette in his hand, but still doing this like he was smoking a cigarette. He'd lost his mind. I came into the room one day and he looked at me and he told me, he said, close the window. The snow is blowing in. Friends, it was August and 100 degrees outside. He had lost his mind. My younger sister, Peggy, had a head-on collision when she was high on drugs. Split her face in two, broke a dozen bones in her body, ruptured her spleen. She was facing reconstructive surgery for years. That same sister, little sister, she died of a drug overdose in her 30s. My older sister, very involved in drugs. It was a factor in her death from lifestyle diseases, drug addiction, and many other things. This is what I was looking at in my home. And in the school, it wasn't much different. And then on the television, it was about the same. The Hollywood movies, that's not really a tangible reality that I desired. It all to me seemed like a nightmare. And so you can get drunk and block all that out. I did not want to know what the truth was. The problem is I did not understand what the truth was. And what I was seeing around me was not the truth. It was an outward perception. 1 Samuel 16:7, he tells Samuel, you're looking on the outside, but I, God, look upon the heart. So it's a different world. It's a different world. When you clear your mind of those things that make you drunk spiritually and physically, when you have clear spiritual and physical eyesight, when the wine of Babylon and the Budweiser are out the door, you begin to see things in a different light. And it's not, and again, it's not just in the physical sense, but it's in the spiritual sense. And then finally, 2 Corinthians 5:7, you can walk by faith and not by sight. You know, so I was in the ditch. I was spiritually dead in the ditch, and that's the 11th grade. My world was crumbling. And my dear friends, it would continue to crumble until I was 35 years old. My world was disintegrating. And I didn't know how to get out of the ditch. I had no clue how to get out of the ditch. Now I know. The only thing that can pull a man or a woman out of that ditch of disparity and despond and depression is the love of God. It's my hope and prayer this morning that you'll find it. God bless you. You have a nice day.